So, you want to get your marketing team truly fluent in AI? Well, throwing a bunch of random tutorials at them just isn't going to work. You need a real strategy, a solid plan. You need a blueprint. Today, we're going to walk through exactly how to design that blueprint to build real, lasting AI skills.
And hey, just so you know where this plan is coming from, this explainer is drawn straight from Chapter 2 of a fantastic tutorial by Virtualization Options LLC. We're diving right into the core of how you design a curriculum that actually works.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to lay the foundation with clear learning pathways. Then, we'll construct the rooms using flexible modular frameworks. After that, we'll wire the whole building by balancing different skill sets. Then comes the stress test, lots of hands-on practice. And finally, the final inspection, making sure it all works with smart assessment strategies. Let's do it! You know, every great building starts with a rock-solid foundation. And for AI training, that foundation is a set of really well-structured learning pathways. This is not a one-size-fits-all deal. It's about creating a clear journey for every single person on your team, no matter where they're starting from. The heart of this foundation is a simple 3-tier system. You've got your beginning tier, which is all about building confidence. Then intermediate, for developing those deeper skills. And finally, the advanced tier, for the folks who are ready to become leaders. This is so effective because it stops your experts from getting bored, and, just as important, it makes sure your newcomers feel supported, not totally overwhelmed. What I really love here is how this framework actually puts numbers to the journey. Look at the progression. The beginning tier, a totally manageable 8 to 12 hours, focused on getting those quick wins. But then you see how both the time and the complexity ramp up through intermediate and advanced. You're moving from basic ideas all the way to high-level strategic thinking. It's a crystal clear roadmap. Okay, so our foundation is poured. Now it's time to actually build the rooms. And we do this by creating modular frameworks. Trust me, this is the key to making your curriculum flexible, adaptable, and basically future-proof. So, what do we mean by modular design? It's actually a pretty simple but powerful idea. You break down all your content into these small, self-contained units. Seriously, think of them like Lego bricks. This lets you snap together custom learning paths for different roles. A social media manager might need a different set of bricks than a content strategist, right? And the best part? When the AI tech changes, and you know it will, you just swap out one little brick, not demolish the whole building. This is where you see how thoughtful each one of those Lego bricks has to be. On the left, you've got the core stuff, the what of the module. But check out the right side, the metadata. That's the how. Tagging each little module with things like time, difficulty, and role relevance, that's what makes the whole system work. It makes everything searchable, customizable, and, at the end of the day, super effective. Okay, our structure is up. Now it's time for the wiring. This is all about balancing the different skill sets you have on your team. Because let's be real, prompt engineering is both an art and a science, and your team is full of both artists and scientists. You have to wire the building for different power needs. This is just a brilliant way to think about it. For your data-driven, technical marketers, you frame prompting like you're writing a database query. It's all about logic, structure, precision. But for your creative thinkers, you frame it like you're writing a creative brief. It's about intuition, narrative, and guiding a collaborator. You're meeting them where they are, speaking their language. And when you do that, everything just clicks. And that's really the ultimate goal here. You're not trying to turn your creatives into coders or your tech folks into abstract artists. You're bridging the gap between them. You're creating a powerful, unified skill where that technical precision and creative problem-solving can work hand in hand. All right, now for what might be the most important part, the stress test. A blueprint is just a piece of paper, right? You don't know if the building is any good until you see if it can actually stand up. In AI training, that stress test is hands-on practice. This is where theory gets real. And this brings us to a really crucial idea, the 70-30 rule. Your training program should be about 70% hands-on practice and only 30% sitting there listening to instruction. Why? Because you learn by doing. I mean, think about it. You can't learn to ride a bike by reading the manual. You have to get on, wobble a bit, and feel it out. True skill comes from application, not just listening. And that practice, it can't be random. It needs to be progressive. You start small with immediate, okay, try this right now exercises. Then you move on to guided exercises that have a bit more structure. From there, learners start tackling stuff on their own. And finally, they put it all together in a big project-based capstone. It's a ladder, and with each step, their confidence and their skills just keep growing. So we've made it. The final inspection. How do you actually know if your blueprint worked? How do you certify that this structure you've built is sound? Well, that's where a really smart assessment strategy comes into play. Look, assessment shouldn't be some big, scary final exam. It should be built on 4 solid pillars. You've got your quick knowledge checks just to make sure people are following along. You've got prompt reviews to see if they're writing good instructions. You have output evaluations to check if they're getting good results. And finally, those capstone projects prove they can pull it all together in a real-world scenario. So how do you make sure all this evaluation is actually fair and consistent? The answer is simple. Clear, transparent rubrics. When you define exactly what good looks like for every task, you take the guesswork out of it. It makes success a measurable standard, not just someone's opinion. It's fair to the learner and the person doing the review. And to tie this all up with a bow, think about using a badging or a certification system. This isn't just about giving out gold stars. It's about giving people tangible recognition for learning a new, incredibly valuable skill. It motivates them to keep going, and it gives them a credential they can actually be proud of. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. Take a hard look at your own AI training. Is your blueprint built to last? Is it designed to support real, sustainable growth? Or is it just a house of cards waiting for the first gust of wind from a real-world challenge to knock it all down? The difference is all in the design.